review? How was your review, everybody? Okay lang ba yung voice ko or is it too soft? Do I have to make it louder? Ayos lang. Pa-request naman ako ng mga open cam dyan. Pwede open cam, everyone. Hello, Sir Joel Elijah. Hello, good evening. Hello, Sir Juan Esteban. Okay, I'm opening my video. And para naman fair, can you please open your cams also? Hello, Sir Joey.
Hi, ma'am.
How about the others? Don't be shy. Tayo-tayo lang naman andito. Hindi naman tayo ipopost sa baka sisikat kayo dito, no? Kasi ipopost si Sir Kevin sa kanyang page. How about the others? Ayaw nila mag-open cam. Huwag kayo ma-shy. Okay. Parang ayaw talaga nila. Hello, Sir Carl Jones Gallego. What about yung mga female natin na mga mathematics majors dyan? Ba't ayaw nila magpakita? Ipakita niyo naman ang kagandahan niyo. Okay, nasa pa yung iba? Kunti lang yung nakikita ko nag-open cam. Kasi alam niyo yung pag nakikita natin ng mga faces natin, kahit super layo natin sa isa't isa, feeling natin close tayo. 'Di ba? Hello, Sir Carl Jones. Where are you from, Sir Carl?
From Antique, ma'am.
Come again?
From Antique.
Antique. Wow, we have a
Region 6, ma'am.
reviewees
Mr.
from Visayas. Sir Joey? Yes, Sir Joey. You're not audible, Sir Joey. Sige. Okay? Parang siya yung iba, no? Ayaw nila mag-open cam. Okay lang. Baka naman kasi mahina yung mga signals natin dyan, no? So, it's very understandable. We can consider that kasi sa Pilipinas, hirap ng signal. Buti na lang si Sir Kevin, nagtatrabaho siya, sa PLDT Smart. Baka kaya niyang gawa ng paraan para lumakas ang signal natin dito sa Philippines. Is it possible, Sir Kevin? Kasi super hirap na signal sa Philippines. Okay, sige. Oh, okay. This will be our session number 2 for our professional education. I hope you have done your part because you do not rely everything on review centers. You do study on your own, get some resources, read and read, practice and practice. And the review centers are only here to guide you on what to do on items that are very, very, shall we say, pero may mga certain items talaga na mahirap talaga siya intindihin. So, review centers are not here to give you everything but to guide you. We are using Levygotsky's theory here, what we call the alam niyo yun, di ba? Yung scaffolding, the Levygotsky, the zone of proximal development. So, review centers are here for you to be able to be guided on what to study, how to study, and what not to study. Kasi may mga concepts talaga na minsan pinag-aaralan natin pero hindi naman talaga siya sinasali sa exam. So para maging yung broad na concept gawin natin medyo maliit para hindi kayo maguluhan pagdating sa review. So, okay? If everybody is ready, can I please have a thumbs up or any comment dyan kung gusto nyo mag-start na? Kasi kung ayaw nyo, pwede tayong kumuha ng isang review dyan para kumanta. Ready na ba lahat? Sige, pag-i-comment. Ay, louder po daw konti. Okay. Ma'am Jodeline Dihito, hindi po ba audible yung voice ko? Kasi I'm only using a headset kasi wala ako sa bahay ngayon. I did not bring my headset. Yan, okay na po ba? Audible na po ba? Loud and clear? Off ka lang po ulit ng cam coach as a work. Okay. Okay, sige. Okay, you may turn off your cams now kasi mag-start na tayo. Kasi baka naman mamaya niyan may yung mga gwapo nating mga reviewers diyan na nakatingin yung mga magagandang reviewers natin hindi makakonsentrate. O baka naman the other way around. Hello, Ma'am Nicolene. Okay. Stop ko din yung cam ko ha. Baka ma-distract kayo sa kagandahan ko. Hindi pa naman ako naligo ngayong araw. Kasi sa super daming trabaho. Okay. Sige. Again ha, I request everybody to please comment or you may unmute your mics if you have questions and if you want to answer. Not necessarily na kailangan you mag-raise a hand for you to be able to I want everybody kung pwede mag-synchronize answer kayo, okay lang yon. But if you are not using your mic, please unmute it para hindi naman tayo makadisturb sa iba. And whenever you have questions, tanong lang kayo agad-agad. No need to, shall we say, raise a hand again. Open mic, kung gusto niyo mag-open cam, okay lang. And we will be starting our lesson for tonight. Okay, tonight, siguro kilala niyo naman ako, no? Kasi nakilala niyo na ako last time. I handled the session number 1. And we tackled about the loss in education. So, binigay ko na yung PDF kay Sir Kevin. If you wanted to have the copy, you may get it from Sir Kevin kung ibibigay niya sa inyo. Kasi all of these materials will be with the copyright of the Learning Hub, Sir Kevin's Review Center. Okay, let's start without further ado. Let's begin. And before we begin pala, let's have a prayer first. Pray muna tayo para we will be guided in everything that we do. Maganda kasi pag may prayer, okay? Start. Ay, ba't na ganun? Eternal God, grant us the wisdom and the understanding as we embark on our studies. Open our hearts and minds to absorb and retain the knowledge we need for the licensure examination for teachers. May our efforts be blessed with success and our study time be productive. Help us to remain focused and diligent, overcoming any distraction or difficulties. Strengthen our resolves and grant us peace and confidence. As we prepare for this important milestone, thank you for the opportunity to learn and grow. May our studies be for the sake of your name and bring light and goodness to the world. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who gives us knowledge and understanding. Amen. Okay. So, start natin. Medyo easy lang naman to kasi we are talking about the assessment of learning. Ano ba ang importansya ng assessment? Bakit kailangan may assessment? At bakit kailangan natin ng assessment on regular basis sa pagtuturo? Since we will be teaching kids and students who will be learning from the school, kailangan alam natin kung paano natin sila i-assess. With number 1. Hindi ko na nilagyan ng question ha, hindi ko na nilagyan ng numbers kasi ayokong mag-count kayo sa mga items na sasagutan yung gusto ko yung kung ano yung naandyan, go with the flow. Kung hanggang 1,000 tayo ngayon, edi go with 1,000. Okay, di ba? the more items you answer and understood, the better. Kasi pagdating sa exam, it's up to you on how you understand the questions pag binasa nyo siya sa mismong examination. Okay? First question. Assessment of learning is blank for the teaching process. Is it add-on, enriched, integral, or ordinary? Kung ano yung gusto nyo, kung anong gusto nyo, kung ano yung feeling nyo na answer, okay? What is assessment of learning daw for the teaching process? So, answers are coming, and I believe majority is answering letter C. And that is the correct answer. Why? Because when we say assessment of learning, it is integral. When we say integral, it is very important. Important yun kasi paano natin malalaman kung may learning ang bata sa pagtuturo natin sa school or sa loob ng classroom if we don't do any assessment. Kaya nga nagbibigay ng exam kasi para alam natin kung may natutunan ba tayo. Always remember yan ha, kasi yan yung pinaka-importante na concept na alam natin. Kasi it is very important to know that assessment, okay? Next item, we have to evaluate teaching skills, which is the most authentic tool. Yes, what is the most authentic tool? Is it the observation? Is it the non-restricted essay test? The short answer test? Or the interview? O saan dyan ang pinaka-importanting tool to evaluate teaching skills? Sige, okay. Sir Juan Esteban answered letter A, observation daw. How about the others? Ma'am Marvic also said A. Ma'am Jodeline B. Sir Juan Esteban sabi niya teaching demo daw. Kaya observation kasi teaching demo. Okay, Ma'am Lorraine, that's letter A. Ma'am Charina, nag-A din. At isa lang yung nag-B. Si Ma'am Jodeline Dijito. Okay. Now, let's rationalize. Sabi ni Sir Juan daw, observation daw ang pinakamagandang authentic tool para i-evaluate natin ang teaching skills. Kasi daw, kailangan ng teaching demo. O, di ba? Sino ba namang teacher ang hindi nakapasa sa ranking nang hindi dumadaan sa demo? And every demo teaching needs to be evaluated, and that is through observation. So, palakpakan yung mga sarili niyo kung nakakuha kayo ng tamang sagot because you are correct. Okay? Hindi pwede ang non-restricted essay test. Pag sinabi kasi nating non-restricted, ibig sabihin, yung sagot natin ay walang limit. No, walang restrictions. Ibig sabihin, kung gusto mo magsulat ng isang nobela, magsulat ka. Ganun yun. When we say short answer test, hindi naman pwede yun. Teaching nga, di ba? Tumawa si Ma'am Jodeline, sabi niya, ligwak daw. Okay lang yan, Ma'am Jodeline, kasi may mga susunod pa naman na mga tanong. At ang teaching skills ay hindi pwedeng i-evaluate lang through interview. Alam mo naman yung interview, masarap pakinggan kung ano ang sinabi, pero minsan hindi nagagawa. Action speaks louder than words, kaya kailangan ng observation. Okay, let's proceed to the next item. Which type of assessment is more suitable when measuring or assessing mastery of learning? Yan. Anong sagot natin dyan? Okay. Wala pang pumapasok ng mga sagot. We have letter A. Ma'am Marvic, Ma'am Nicolene, Ma'am Lorraine, Sir Giovanni. Okay, si Sir Giovanni nag-letter B. And everybody else, Ma'am Giovanni, A. So, bakit kaya? Bakit? Oh, nag-iba ng landas si Sir Arwin. Sabi niya, letter C daw. Anong meron? Ano nga ulit ang hinahanap natin? Mastery of learning. Okay? Diagnostic is before. This is the test, yung prior knowledge. Yes, that is very correct, Sir Kevin. That's very true. Diagnostic is before. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-diagnostic tayo, hindi pa tayo nagtuturo noon. Kaya, kung diagnostic ang pinili nyo, mali ang sagot nyo. Kasi, hindi yun ang sagot. Okay? Ang tinatanong natin is mastery of learning. Ibig sabihin, may natutunan ka na. Tapos, tinitest natin kung master mo na ba yung learning. So, ano ang hinahanap? Typically, it's done during instruction, kagaya ng mga quizzes. Yung mga, ano ba tawag nito? Nawala audio ko? Audible? Meron na ba?
Okay
Andyan
na.
Bumalik na? Okay,
Wala.
sorry. Okay. Okay. Sige, again, ulitin ko. Formative assessment. Like plus and minus lang. Nawala ulit. Ano bang problema mo? Okay, ano bang problema mo? Okay, sige, ganito na lang. Audio. Yan. Okay na ba? Dinig na? Nawala ulit? Okay na, okay. I'm sorry, may problema sa headset ko. Nawala ulit. At unstable. Unstable ang connection. Sige, audible na ulit. Okay. Sige, again, ulitin ko ha. Yung formative assessment ay kinakailangan natin para i-test kung alam na ng student yung tinuro natin. At yun ang ginagawa ng mga teachers na nagbibigay sila ng quizzes, yung mga activities during the instruction habang nagtuturo siya. Yun ang nangyayari. Okay? Gets ba? So, sabi nga ni Sir Kevin kanina, yung diagnostic ay binibigay bago ka pa magturo. Ibig sabihin, wala ka pang natututunan kasi hindi ka pa nagturo nun. So, ang diagnostic ay hindi niya tinetest yung mastery of learning. Okay? Kung pwede kayo mag-take note dyan, aptitude assessment is used to test your strength, kung saan ka magaling. Kaya nga yung mga nasa top of the class, kinukuha sila as yung sa mga MTOP, yung sa mga quiz bees, mathematics quiz bees, mga ganon, kasi tinetest kung ano ang strength nila sa ganon na field. Aptitude 'yun. Okay? So pag sinasabi nating mastery of learning, ang ginagamit natin is formative assessment. Okay, now let's proceed to our next number. Okay, ito pala yun. May tatlo tayong assessment. Alam kong alam nyo na to, yung tatlong klaseng assessment. We have assessment for, assessment of, and assessment as. Tatlo yun siya. Dapat hindi kayo malito kung ano ang alin. Which is which? Okay. Pag sinabi natin assessment for, that is before and during. Ibig sabihin before, hindi ka pa nagturo. Pag sinabi natin during, nagtuturo ka na, pero hindi ka pa tapos. Nagtuturo ka pa lang. Sa for assessment, tinitest natin kung may prior knowledge ka ba or kung may natutunan ka ba sa dinidiscuss ng teacher nung time na yon. So, paki-take note nito, ito yung yung apat na klase ng for assessment na for learning na assessment. We have P, D, A, F. P for placement test, yung mga placement. D for diagnostic, we have A for aptitude, and F for formative. Okay, take note lang yan kasi minsan madami ang nalilito dyan kung alin ang alin. Pag sabi nating placement, ito yung exam na kinukuha. Typical niyan is sa college entrance test or minsan may mga high school na nag-i-entrance test din kasi yung mga private high school, meron silang entrance test.
Yun yung binibigay ng mga yung before ka pumasok sa isang grade. Ang placement ay ginagamit para ma-tell kung saang field ka dapat ilagay. 'Di ba? Ibig sabihin, kung saang field ka, kunyari, may subject na mathematics, Filipino, English, science, engineering, mga ganun. Kung saang subject ka doon mataas, isa-suggest sa iyo na doon ka sa field na yon. Example, pagkatapos ng placement test, tapos mataas ka sa mathematics, sabihin nila, oh, pwede ka mag-engineer, o pwede ka sa engineering department kasi magaling ka sa math. Ganun. Kung saan ka pwede ilagay. At ito din ang ginagamit sa sectioning sa elementary. Naalala ko dati nung maliit ako, may by section kasi kami dati nung sa DEX dati sa Department of Education, Culture and Sports. By section kasi ang placement ng mga bata. Pag medyo matalino ka, sa section A ka. Pag medyo okay ka lang, hindi ka naman masyadong matalino, hindi ka rin masyadong mababa, doon ka sa section B. Pero pag medyo kulang ka talaga, sa section C ka. Yun yung placement. Pag nag-take ka nun, matetel ng teacher kung saan ka dapat ilagay, sa A ba, sa B ba, or sa C ba. Okay, ang diagnostic, sinabi na ni Sir Kevin, hindi ko na ulitin yun. Kasi, tinitest natin dyan kung ano ang prior knowledge mo, kung may alam ka ba dati. Aptitude, sinabi ko na din yan, and also the formative. Ang formative, kailangan nating i-assess ang mastery ng learning ng bata. Next, we have the assessment of learning. Pag sinabi nating of learning, ito yung assessment na ginagawa pagkatapos magturo. Typical niyan, binibigay niyan na yung mga long quizzes. Kunyari, pagkatapos ng isang linggo nagturo si teacher, magbibigay siya ng long quiz every Friday. Yun, long quizzes. Then we have the summative, yung kabuuan kung ano yung tinuro niya, the whole shall we say the whole quarter. And we have the periodical test and obvious yung QA, yung quarterly assessment. Lahat ng mga mahahabang exam is what we call the assessment of learning. Kasi tinitest natin kung may natutunan ba tayo sa lahat ng tinuro ni teacher simula. Then, next is we have the assessment as learning. Tandaan nyo, pag as learning, ito ay self-assessment. Self-assessment, tinitingnan kung magagawa ka bang something using the knowledge that you gain. Assessment as learning, example ay mga portfolios, yung mga outputs. Typical niyan, ginagawa yan ng bata. Minsan by group or minsan by individual. Depende yan ni teacher kung anong gagawin niya. Then we have the projects. That is to summarize all your learning in an output. Kailangan may nagawa ka. And all the performance-based assessment. Lahat ng may performance na assessment sa as learning yun siya. Lahat ng assessment as learning ay may output. Kailangan may maipakita ka. Okay, next we have the next number. Which of these is or are essential in constructing a scoring rubric? Sige nga. Sinong magbigay ng sagot dyan? Is it? Okay, we have 4 choices. Description of criteria to serve as a standard. We have clear descriptions of a performance at each level. We have levels of achievement. And fourth one is the rating scheme. Alin kaya dyan ang kailangan natin na importante talaga when it comes to scoring rubric? Sige daw. Okay. Nawala ulit. Nawala ulit? Okay na? O sige, sagot lang kayo. Ano ang maisasagot niyo dyan? Okay, and the answers are coming, all of them. And all of them answered all of the above. Bakit naman all of the above? Anong meron sa all of the above? Bakit all of the above ang sagot natin? Okay, sige. Ratio natin, ratio. Sige. Narinig na ba ako? Ang hirap ng ano? Ang hirap ng buhay. Kasi minsan nawawala. Tapos bumabalik ulit. Audible coach. Okay, thank you for answering, Sir Juan. Okay? Sige, rationalize natin. Bakit kaya? Okay. Sige, ganito. Sabi dyan, ano daw kailangan natin para mag-construct tayo ng rubric? Siyempre, pag gagawa ka ng rubric, ibig sabihin, kailangan mo ng description of criteria. Diba sa rubric, meron yung, kunyari, sa cleanliness. We have the cleanliness, we have the teamwork, we have the mastery, parang ganun. Diba? Yung mga criteria na kailangan, every rubric always has criteria. Kaya, kailangan ang criteria. So that is number 1. And every option has number 1. Okay, then we proceed with number 2. Clear descriptions of performance at each level. Ibig sabihin, kunyari, ang isa sa criteria mo ay clean, ganito. Malinis ang pagkagawa. So, matotal, malinis talaga. Walang dumi. Parang ganon. What if yung score nun is perfect? Kasi malinis talaga. So, we have this criteria of 5, then we can have criteria of 3. Sabihin natin, madaming erasures, pero maganda naman ang pagkasulat, medyo maayos, parang ganon. And then we have 1, sobrang dami ng bura, parang ganon. Dapat may descriptions ka kung paano mo siya igagrado kasi pag criteria lang, madaming klaseng criteria, so dapat may mga descriptions ka, and that is number 2, that is correct. And we also have the levels of achievement. Kailangan yan, kaya nga may mga numbers di ba? Kung 1 ka lang ba, 2 ka lang ba, 3 ka lang ba, 4 or 5, ganyan. And we have the rating scheme. So, everything in the options are correct. So, lahat yan ay kinakailangan para makagawa tayo ng scoring rubric. And everybody got the correct answer. So, magsaya kayo kasi masaya yun pag tumama ka sa question. Okay, next. What kind of assessment helps teachers determine gaps in learning a subject matter? Is it placement examination, diagnostic test, formative assessment, or summative assessment? Saan dyan ang pipiliin nyo? Sige. Pili na kayo. Pili. Determining the gaps, Determining the gaps. In learning a subject matter. Okay. Iba-iba sagot nila. Ma'am Nicolene says B. Ma'am Charina, C. Sir Juan, C. Ma'am Gila, it's B. Ma'am Marivic, C. Sir Joali, A. And Ma'am Lorraine, B. Okay. Pero bakit walang pumili sa letter T? Oh, no. Humabol pa si Ma'am Karen. Nag-B siya. And we also have, ang dami pa pala. It's me being B. John Paul, A. Ma'am Karen, Ma'am Carol, A din. Walang pumili sa D. Kawawa naman si D. Walang pumili sa kanya. Sige. Rationalize natin. Ano nga ulit hinahanap? The gaps in the learning of a subject matter. Pag sinabi natin ang gaps, yung hindi mo natutunan. At kung hindi mo siya natutunan, ibig sabihin, nagturo si teacher, di ba? Kasi hindi mo natutunan eh. So, our answer is letter C. We have the formative assessment pa din. Same pa rin yan sa mastery. Kasi, tinetest, we are determining kung saan ka doon, kung saan nagkulang si teacher. Kaya, minsan, kapag pangit yung formative assessment na ginawa mo, mababa yung scores ng lahat ng estudyante mo, kailangan mo siya i-reteach. Kung ikaw si teacher, nagturo ka, and then nag-formative assessment ka, and then ang result ng formative assessment mo ay mababa, ibig sabihin, hindi maganda ang pagkaturo kasi walang natutunan ang mga bata. So, you have to reteach the concept. Reteach lang naman sa mga certain concepts na kung saan sila mababa. And we have formative assessment, determining the learning gaps. Ibig sabihin, yung mga hindi nalaman ng mga bata or hindi natutunan. Kasi nagkulang, may kulang. Kaya hindi nila nalaman, hindi nila natutunan kasi nagkulang si teacher. So that is formative assessment. Okay? Next we have next number, Mr. Ali, an English teacher, conducts regular quizzes to assess his students' understanding of subject-verb agreement. To ensure that the quizzes contribute fairly to the students' final grades, she incorporates them into her grading policy. Is Mr. Ali doing the right thing? Basahin ko ulit. Translate na lang pala natin. Okay. Si Mr. Ali, nag-conduct siya ng mga quizzes on regular basis. Yung concept niya ay subject-verb agreement. At para daw ma-ensure na ma-contribute fairly sa mga students sa kanilang grado, sinali niya yung mga quizzes sa paggawa ng grade ng mga bata. Tama ba ang ginawa ni Sir? Okay, is it yes because he includes all the quizzes? Is it yes because the students deserve to be treated fairly? Or is it no, we include the quizzes in giving the final grades? Or no, because Mr. Ali didn't have enough data. Alin dyan, may dalawang yes at saka may dalawang no. Pero ang nakikita kong majority sa sagot niyo ay C, pero may nag-A. Okay? Okay? Okay, the answers are coming. Medyo hati ang answer natin ngayon ha. Madami na din pumili sa A. Okay, wala na bang dadagdag dyan? Ba't ayaw mo ng D? Ba't ayaw mo ng B? A at saka silang. Okay. This is according to the DO. What DO is that? That is, type ko sa chat box ha. DO number 8. Series of 2015. Yan. Yan yung DO na, yan yung DO na, okay, meeting group chat ko na ito. Ayan ang DO kung saan kinuha yung concept na yan. And that is, pakita ko sa inyo. Okay, that is the information or feedback gathered from formative assessment will help teachers ensure that all the learners are supported while they are developing understanding and competencies related to curriculum standards. These also prepare them for summative assessments. Teachers should keep a record of formative assessment results to study the patterns of learning demonstrated by students. However, ayan, nandyan na, this should not be used as basis for grading. Hindi siya dapat isali sa pagbigay ng grado. Ibig sabihin, tama ba si Sir Ali? No, hindi siya tama. Kasi hindi niya dapat sinali ang quizzes sa final grade. Kasi ang formative assessment, such as quizzes, can be recorded for the improvement. But hindi siya dapat gawing basihan para sa grado. Okay? Pero yun yung typical na ginagawa ng mga teachers natin ngayon, no? They will be recording the quizzes para in case ma-short ang grade ng bata, may panghatak sila sa grade, no? Yun yung typical na tradition ng mga teachers. Kasi ayaw nila na ibagsak ang mga bata. Kasi pag ibagsak nila yung mga bata, magiging hassle para sa kanilang part kasi madami silang papers na kailangan nilang gawin. So, yun yung ginagawa ng iba. Panghatak ng grado. And that is letter C. Okay, next. It allows students to perform real-world tasks that demonstrates meaningful application of essential knowledge and skills. Is it subjective test, performance assessment, objective test, or portfolio assessment? Alin dyan ang sagot natin? Perform real-world task that demonstrates meaningful application. Isa lang ang mabasa nyo dyan. Automatic, alam nyo na ang sagot. And I believe lahat kayo ay nag-aral. So, palakpakan ang mga sarili natin. Asan na ba yung aking emoji? Hindi ko makita yung emoji. Sige, gusto kong pumalakpak. Asan ba yung emoji ko? Wala na ma-reaction. Yehey, pumalakpak sila. Please, palakpakan yung mga sarili nyo kasi you are studying very well. Because the correct answer is letter B, performance. Kasi real world. When it comes to real world task, kailangan meron kang ginawa. May performance dapat. And that is letter B. So, very good kayong lahat, no? Walang nagkamali sa item na to. Teta. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Juan Esteban. Share mo naman yung PETA mo. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng PETA? Paki ano sa chat box. What is PETA, Sir Juan? Performance task. Okay. Sige, may tina-type si Sir Juan sa ating chat box. Yun ang nag-aaral talaga kasi meron siyang maibibigay sa inyo na na baka feeling niya siguro hindi niyo pa alam. And then si-share niya sa inyo. That is pag nakita niyo yung real world, that is PETA, performance task. Okay, thank you so much, Sir Juan. Then we proceed to our next question. The instructions for a test are made simple, clear, and concise. This is part of which of the following characteristics of a good test? Is it the scoreability, objectivity, economy, or administrability? Saan dyan ang sagot natin? Yung test daw na ginawa is simple, clear, and concise. Saan dyan na characteristic yun sa isang test? Okay. Nag-iisip pa sila? Nag-iisip? Okay. Gusto ko yung yung nag-iisip kayo kasi nahahasa yung mga yung inyong mga tawag natin yung mga critical thinking. Kailangan nyo mag-isip na mabuti para nakakuha kayo ng tamang sagot. Okay, may sumagot ng objectivity, letter B. Ano pa? Sige, tingnan natin. Objectivity, and majority answered objectivity. Anong ulit ang sabi sa question? The instructions of a test are made simple, clear, and concise. Simple, easy lang. Clear, klaro. Tsaka concise, swak na swak. Saan dyan? Na characteristic? Okay, hirit na ba? Parang hihirit yata sila kasi wala na ako nakikitang nagsasagot. And okay, if you may take down notes, please take down notes. Scoreability is the ease and consistency of assigning scores to a test from the word score. Kung example, sa essay test nyo, di ba minsan si teacher magsasabi na, okay, essay, part 4, essay, 5 points each, ganon. Dapat alam nyo kung ano ang point na makukuha nyo kung sasagot kayo ng ganon. Hindi po ito, kunyari, sa multiple choice question, kagaya nitong yung sinasagutan natin, we have 4 choices. Tapos, yung number 1 point lang, tapos sa number 2, naging 2 points. Hindi pwede extend yung scoring. Hindi pwedeng paiba-iba. Objectivity, on the other hand, is, paki-take note kasi lahat kayo ay may sagot na objectivity. Please take note. Objectivity ensures that the test measures the intended skill or knowledge without bias from the scorer. Ano ibig sabihin? Dapat, kung ano ang tinest mo, yun yung knowledge na dapat i-test sa'yo. Example, sa klase ba ng, kunyari, si teacher, nagturo siya ng subject-verb agreement, kagaya nung si Mr. Ali kanina, nagturo siya ng subject-verb agreement. And then, pagdating sa quiz or sa exam na ginawa niya, yung concept na tinuro niya ay tungkol naman sa mga nouns and pronouns. Hindi naman siguro maging objective yun kasi hindi naman yung tinuro, di ba? Kung ano yung tinuro mo, yun yung i-test mo. Test what you teach. I-test mo kung ano yung tinuro mo, and that is being objective. Okay, nagets ba? Since I am telling you that objectivity is not the right answer, can you please give me another answer aside scoreability and objectivity? Kasi naibigay ko na sa inyo ang meaning. Ano na? O, di ba? Ang bilis. Basta ma-discuss. Okay. In fairness, mahirap naman talaga yung question na to. And very good. All of you got the correct answer the second time around. And that is administrability. Ibig sabihin, kayang-kaya bang i-administer? Kayang-kaya bang ibigay sa mga students? Kaya ba nilang sagutan? Kasi, simple lang, clear at concise. Swak na swak, di ba? Administrability refers to how well a test can be given and understood by the test takers. Ibig sabihin, kailangan kung magbigay ka ng test, may instructions. Di ba kahit naman sa left, kahit anong exam, may direction yun. And every exam should have directions. Kasi pag magbigay ka lang ng question sa mga bata, hindi nila alam paano sagutan, yun yung nag-violate ka sa characteristic ng administrability. And when we say being in the economy, the characteristics in the economy, ibig sabihin, kung mahal ba siya i-take or mura lang, di ba? Kung sa let nagbabayad tayo ng 900 para maka-exam. Sa civil service, nagbabayad tayo ng 500 ba yun para maka-exam. Pagdating sa school, wala ka namang binabayaran for the economy characteristics. Okay? Gets ba? Na-gets ba? Pwede bang mag-ano dyan? Mag-thumbs up kung na-gets nyo. So next time, kung mabasa niyo yung question na to, hindi na kayo maguguluhan. Okay? Next number, what type of error was committed by a rater who overrates performance? Sige, ano yon? Is it a central tendency error, severity error, leniency error, or the generosity error? Okay. Ano ang sagot natin dyan? A, B, C, or D? Okay. Wala pa sumasagot? Sige, sagot kayo sa chat box. O baka naman nawala na ako. Sige, sagot kayo. Sagot. Okay. Sir Giovanni said D, generosity daw. Okay. Letter D din si Ma'am Gila. Yung iba, dalawa pa lang sumasagot. Sir Juan says A, central tendency daw. Okay. A lang ako familiar. Sa A lang daw siya familiar, kaya yun yung sinagot niya. Okay, we have Ma'am Chris A, Sir Emil D, Sir John Paul A, Ma'am Charina A, we have Sir Carl Jones A. So, walang pumili sa B. Ayaw nyo ng B. Okay? And, okay, discuss natin every option. When we say central tendency error, kasi sabi ni Sir Juan, dun lang daw siya familiar kasi central tendency. When we say central tendency, kung magbigay ka ng rating 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pag sinabi nating central tendency error, lahat ng scores mo nasa 3. Kasi yun yung center. Di ba, andun yung median. Central tendency error. Ibig sabihin, hindi mababa, hindi bagsak, hindi rin masyado. Hindi mababa, hindi rin mataas. Okay lang, nasa gitna yung scores lahat ng estudyante. Pag ganyan yung score na binigay ni teacher o ng kahit sinong rater, ang tawag doon ay central tendency error. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng nasa gitna ng lahat ng scores mo. Yes po, okay, average siya, yes po. Pag sinabi natin central tendency error, lahat ng scores mo nasa average lang. Hindi siya excellent, hindi din siya poor. Average lang. At lahat yun. Walang ibang scores na makikita. Yun lang talaga, yung average na score. Yun yung sa central tendency error. Yung letter B naman, yung severity error from the word severe. Sige nga, from the word severe, comment niyo sa chat box, ano ang scores kaya na ibibigay ni teacher o ng evaluator pag sinabi nating severity error? Severe. Sige, pag sinabing severe, ano kaya ang scores na bibigay? Mataas, mababa, gitna. Sabi ni Sir Emil, poor daw. Okay, sino pa may ibang sagot? Okay, sino may iba? And, okay, let's continue. Pag sinabi nating severity error, sobrang baba naman ang scores na binigay ng teacher. As in lahat, yung bang parang masama yung mood niya from morning till afternoon, tapos nag-evaluate siya, tapos naapektuhan yung paggrado niya, parang ganun. Parang wala siya sa mood mag-evaluate, kaya lahat kayo poor ang ratings. And that is true, Sir Emil. Poor ang ratings ni teacher. Severity error. When we say leniency error, it is more like generosity error, pero may konting kaibahan lang. Okay, when we say again, ulitin ko ha, when we say leniency error, parang generosity error yan siya, pero may kaibahan. Hindi ko kasi nalala yung notes ko dito sa tabi ko, pero ah alalahanin ko mamaya. Okay, sige. But the correct answer is letter D. And that is generosity error. Kasi overrates the performance. Ibig sabihin, super high ng mga binibigay na grado ni teacher sa mga performance na binibigay ng student. As in lahat. Parang mahal niya lahat ng estudyante niya, kaya ayaw niya na may bumagsak. Kaya binibigyan niya ng matataas na grades. That is generosity error. Okay? Sige, next number. Huwag niyo kalimutan yan, ha? Next number, we have Teacher Pressy wanted to teach the pupils the skill of cross-stitching. Her check-up quiz was a written test on the steps of cross-stitching. What characteristic of a good test does it lack? Is it the reliability, objectivity, content validity, or the predictive validity? Sige, what's our answer sa tanong na yan? Ano kaya ang ating sagot? Okay. Parang nag-iisip pa sila. Iniisip pa nila, ano kaya ang sagot? Okay, wala pang sumasagot. Okay, so answers are coming and D, C, B, A, B, A, B. Oh, parang shuffled yung answers natin. Parang lahat yata ng choices kailangan nating i-discuss. Okay, pero may sumasagot majority na tamang sagot. Okay, sige, discuss natin. When we say reliability, paki-take note. Measuring what is intended to measure. When we say consistency, ibig sabihin, kahit paulit-ulit mo siyang ibigay sa estudyante yung mismong test na yon, same pa din yung score niya. That is being reliable. And kung pwede niyong pwede isulat dyan, the more items, the more reliable. Para maging reliable ang isang test, kailangan mas madaming item. Example, di ba pag magpa-quiz ka, lalo na yung sa demo teaching mo dati, sa evaluation, 5 questions lang. Maximum na yun siya kasi pag ginawa mong 10 items, medyo mahaba na, hindi mo matatapos sa tamang oras. Pero when it comes to the real scenario na nasa classroom ka na talaga, hindi ka pwedeng magbigay lang ng evaluation na 5 items. You know why? 5 items is not reliable para sa learning ng bata. You need to give more items para maging reliable yung tinuro mo. 5 items lang, konti lang yun. Konti lang yung magbibigay ng more na mga tanong. So, to make it more reliable, add several items. Kaya nga, di ba, sa LET, hindi ka binibigyan ng 100 items lang. Hindi ka binibigyan ng 200 lang. Ilan ulit ang sasagutan natin? 450. Except sa mathematics, we only answer for 30. 420 pala. 420. 420 nga. So that's it. The more items, the more reliable. Okay? Next, we have the objectivity na binigay ko na sa inyo kanina. Dapat, if we are being objective, dapat walang kinalaman yan sa feelings ng nag-rate. Walang. And when we say content validity, it is telling you that you should intended to teach. No, yun. Okay, content validity. Kung ano yung content? Ano ba ang content ni Teacher Pressy? Ang content niya ay skill of cross-stitching, di ba? Yung skill niya sa cross-stitching. Pero paano niya ginawa as test? Ginawa niyang written test. Di ba ang skill is hindi naman sinusulat? Ginagawa yun. So, nag-lock siya sa content validity kasi hindi valid ang kanyang content na tinest niya sa mga bata. So, that is letter C. Letter C ang tamang sagot. Okay? Very good sa mga sumagot ng letter C. Okay, we have, explain ko na din yung predictive validity. Yes, nagtanong talaga si Sir Juan. Akala niya siguro hindi ko i-discuss yung predictive validity. Okay. Predictive validity. Typical yun siya, as in lumabas din siya sa exam. This actual question. Review centers conduct mock examinations before the actual exam, because we are making the validity of it as being predictive. Yung predictive, ibig sabihin, kung ano daw yung result mo sa mock test. Kunyari, di ba sa review center, may tinatawag yung pre-board and merong final coaching. Kung ano daw yung result mo doon, it will predict kung ano ang possible na mangyayari sa actual na exam. Parang ganun. We are predicting what is supposed to happen scenario. Yun yung ginagawa sa predictive validity. Ano ba ang possible na mangyari? Pero hindi lahat ng I tell you, hindi lahat ng results sa mock examination ay totoo. Kasi nangyari sa akin yan. Nung nag-pre-board kami, hindi naman ganoon kalaki yung rate ko. Pero nung actual exam, lumaki yung rate ko. Alam niyo ba kung bakit? Kasi nung nag-mock exam kami, mababa lang talaga yung scores ko nung pre-board namin. Pagkatapos ng pre-board, nag-aral ako ng nag-aral. Kaya yun, tumaas yung rating ko. So, kung ano man ang magiging result ng pre-boards nyo, sa kahit anong review center na sasalihan nyo, huwag nyong, kunyari, bagsak kayo sa pre-board. Tapos, huwag isipin na bagsak din kayo sa mismong actual na exam. Pagbutihan nyo pa, kasi ibig sabihin, kulang pa ang pag-aaral. Kaya, yun siya. We are predicting what is supposed to happen on the actual scenario. Okay na? So, we continue with the next item. Which of the following is not a factor of errors in assessment? Saan daw dyan ang hindi factor ng errors in assessment? Is it the test that may get outdated? The practice is a student's score? Administering the test twice may measure a different attribute? Or the student may take the test for granted? Ano sagot natin? A, B, C, or D? Ito medyo mahirap to. Kailangan nyo talaga siya i-rationalize. Ang bilis sagot ni Ma'am Charina. Sabi ni Ma'am Charina, letter B. Mabilis si Ma'am Charina magsagot. Okay. Sige, what about the others? Ano sagot natin? Nag-letter B din si Ma'am Gila. Okay. Ma'am Sir Giovanni, nag-B din. Ano sa iba? Yung iba. Apat pa lang sumasagot. B with Sir Jason. Sir Jason Santa Maria. Letter B. Majority ng B ha. Bakit kaya? Anong meron sa B? Sige daw, comment nyo daw. Anong meron sa B? Bakit B sagot niyo? Bakit B? Bakit walang C? Bakit walang A? Bakit hindi D? Ay, naiba ang landas ni Ma'am Nicoline. Nag-letter C siya. Ma'am Charina says positive po. Okay, yun yung nakita niyang sagot. Positive daw kasi si B, kaya yun yung sinagot niya. Okay. And you know what? Nag-B din si Sir Jawali. And you know what? Ma'am Charina's ratio is kasi siya lang ang positive. Bakit siya lang ang positive? Sige, tingnan natin. Letter A, the test may get outdated. Ibig sabihin, outdated na yung test mo. Wala nang kwenta yun. Old curriculum yun. Huwag mo na pag-aralan yun. Kasi wala nang kwenta yun. Dati, nakaraan na. Letter C, administering the test twice may measure a different attribute. Same test ha. Yung test mo, twice mo binigay. Paano ka makakakuha ng dalawang attribute? Same lang naman yung test na binigay mo, yung wala ka namang binago. So, wrong din yan siya. And letter D, the student may take the test for granted. Ibig sabihin, take ka lang, tapos sabihin mo, ay, exam lang naman to, okay lang. Parang ganun, no? You take it for granted. So, that is also negative. Ibig sabihin, letter B lang ang positive. The practice increase a student's score. And that is correct. Hindi kasi yan siya error. Kasi hindi siya error. Kasi positive siya. Pag error kasi negative. Okay? Tama yung pagka-ratio. Coach, I have to catch my ride. Ratio ba ako pag-uwi? Ingat sa biyahe, Sir Juan. Ingat po sa biyahe. Mahirap na sa panahon ngayon. Okay, okay. Sige, sige. Go. Let's proceed. Which of the following is considered the most important characteristic of a good test? Ito na naman. Itong mga characteristic ng good test. Dapat kasi alam natin to as future teachers. Is it the administrability, usability, validity, or reliability? Sige, okay. C and D ang nakikita kong mga sagot natin. C and D. Okay, C and D. C. Parang mas madaming C. Ay, dumami na din yung D. C, umabol pa talaga si Sir Juan, no? C, a test must be valid, sabi niya. Ang ratio ni Sir Juan, C, a test must be valid. Bakit kailangan maging valid? Siyempre naman, kung mag-test ka, dapat valid yung test mo. Kasi, yun yung characteristic ng isang magandang test. Okay, di ba? Administrability na binigay ko na sa inyo yan. We go with, tuwang-tuwa sa Sir Juan kasi nakatama siya. Okay, we go with usability kasi hindi ko pa na-raise kasi usability. When we say usability, yung test ba ay nag-encompass ba the ease with which both test administrators and test takers can use the test, including the clarity of instruction, user-friendly format, and accessibility. Ibig sabihin, kung i-administer ba siya, magagamit ba talaga siya in the mismong scenario ng exam? Diba? Pag pag mag-exam ka, tapos gagamit ka ng computer exam, dapat may computer for it to be usable, yung exam. Kasi kung gagawa ka ng paper and pencil test, tapos wala ka namang paper and pencil, paano ka magte-test? Diba hindi mo magagamit yung exam? Hindi siya usable. At on yung reliability, na-discuss na din natin, the more items, the more reliable. Okay? So proceed tayo sa next item. Setting up criteria for scoring essay. Setting up criteria daw is okay. Saan ginagamit ang criteria? Di ba sabi, kailangan ng criteria para walang bias. At para walang bias, dapat objective ang iyong test. Dapat objective ka, dapat meron kang goal. Kasi kung may goal ka, may criteria ka na gagawin. Ay, nakahabol yung iba, nag-letter A, okay? That is very good. When we say for the test to be, tawag nito, to be objective, kailangan natin ng criteria. Kasi alam natin kung paano siya i-rate. Yung criteria kasi, di ba sa rubrics yun, malalaman natin kung paano i-rate ang mismong test if we are being objective. Activity. Sige, hindi ko na-release kasi. Next, we have ito. What are the attributes of a good evaluation instrument? Ano ang magandang attribute ng good evaluation instrument? Objectivity, reliability, sensitivity, or validity? Alin dyan sa akin? I believe na-discuss ko na lahat except sa isa. Oh, nag-busy. It's me, Bing. It's me, Bing. What is your real name? It's me, Bing. Parang ang kulit. It's me, Bing. Bea po. Okay. It's me, Bea. Dapat it's me, Bea. Okay. Okay, Ma'am Bea. Ang sagot niyo po ay letter B. Kasi yung sensitivity daw, hindi ko pa na-discuss. Kaya yun yung sagot ko. Yun ba yun? Kasi yung sensitivity hindi nyo alam. Kaya, letter B. Okay, sige. I think majority says letter B. Bakit ayaw yung sa sensitivity? Okay. And that is all of the above. Humahabol din si Ma'am Jason. Jason, is it among or a sir? Kalimutan ko na. Kasi Jason, parang lalaki ata ito. Jason Santa Maria. Sir Jason. Ah, sir. Kasi may kakilala akong Jason na babae. Jason. Sige. Okay, why? Bakit umawa si Ma'am Eileen? Okay. Why letter D? Bakit kasama ang sensitivity? Kasi ganito. When we say sensitivity, it refers to the instrument's ability to detect meaningful differences or changes in the construct being measured. Ibig sabihin, kailangan maging sensitive ka din kung ano yung kailangan mong i-test. Kailangan talaga yun siya. Dapat maging sensitive. Okay, again, ulitin ko ha. Sensitivity is the instrument's ability to detect meaningful differences. Kailangan malaman natin kung ano yung differences ng mga kinoconstruct natin na gusto nating i-measure. So that is all of the above. Kasama yung sensitivity dun ha. Hindi ko na-discuss yung iba kasi napagdaanan na natin. Okay. Next number. What attribute makes the test item poor? Blank is an example of fruit. Letter A, the blank at the beginning of the sentence. It is a very easy test item. It is a short, or it is not a significant item. Okay, okay. Ano sagot natin? Uy, na may nag-D. Nag-iba ng lada si Ma'am Bea. And everybody else says A. Parang ikaw lang yata yung nag-iiba, Ma'am Bea. Ayaw ko ng bagong buhay. Baka naman gusto mong, bigyan kitang chance. Sabi ni Ma'am Bea, hindi daw kasi importante yung question. Blank is an example of fruit. Sige. And, parang ayaw magbagong buhay ni Ma'am Bea, pinanigan niya ang sagot niya na D. And that is letter A. When making a completion type of test, hindi pwedeng sa simula yung blank. Pwede mong sabihin na, kasi if maglalagay po ng blank, dapat sa dulo. Yes, thank you po, Ma'am Mary Joy Ninyalga. Tama po yun. Nasa, yun siya? Nasa, what we call, yung mga guidelines kung paano gawin ang completion test. Pwede ka din naman maglagay sa gitna. Pero, ang ginagawa talaga is dapat sa dulo. Alam niyo bakit hindi pwedeng maglagay ng blank sa unahin? Kasi, magtatanong ka pa nga lang, blank na agad wala ka nang masagot, blank agad. Pagkatapos nun, wala na silang maisip kasi blank ko na agad. So, dapat bigyan mo muna sila ng, ng babasahin bago ka mag-blank. Dapat, an example of fruit is blank. Paano naman pag ganun yung question? Paano naman pag ganun ang question? An example of fruit is blank. Ano naman ang mali doon? Binago ko lang yung binago ko lang yung yung question niya. Ano ang mali doon? Wala dyan sa choices. Baka naman may alam kayo. Anong mali doon? An example of fruit is blank. Di ba sabi natin, dapat yung blank nasa hulihan? O di, ginawa ko sa hulihan yung blank. Nilagay ko sa hulihan. Ano ang problema na ngayon? An example of fruit is blank. O sabi ni Ma'am Mary Joy, incomplete daw. Incomplete naman talaga kasi fill in the blanks nga. Diba? So, ano ang mali sa test construction? Binaliktad ko lang. An example of fruit is blank. Pag ikaw ba sasagot, anong sagot mo? Sige nga, paki-comment. There are lots of fruits. Yes, that's true, Ma'am Bea. There are lots of fruits. So, ibig sabihin, mali din yung pagka-construct ng ganong klaseng question. Because when making a fill-in-the-blanks question or the completion type test, dapat it is only open to one answer. Dapat isa lang ang answer. Kasi when we say an example of fruit is blank, dami namang klaseng fruits. Ano isasagot ng bata dyan? Pag sinabi mong papaya, apple, orange, banana, di ba ang dami? So, hindi pwede. Hindi pwedeng maraming sagot. Pag gagawa ka ng completion type, dapat isa lang ang possible na sagot. Okay? Next number, next item. Thank you for that. Ibig sabihin, nag-aral talaga kayo. So, hindi masasayang ang pag-aaral nyo. Kasi pagdating sa December, may 3 letra na sa dulo ng pangalan nyo. Okay? With what should the assessment of test items be aligned? O, saan daw kailangan aligned ang assessment natin? Monitoring and evaluation, content and process, instructional media, or instructional objectives. Uy. Wala ba iba sagot dyan? Gusto ko makakita ng ibang letter bukod sa D. Walang iba sagot. Bakit walang iba sagot? Gusto ko na iba sagot. Bigay na iba sagot. Ibig sabihin, nag-aaral talaga kayo because the answer is instructional objectives. Always remember ha, dapat ang objectives. Kahit mga activities mo, kahit mga IMs mo, kahit anong content na gawin mo, it should be aligned sa objectives na ibibigay mo sa lesson. And that is letter D. Ibig sabihin, nag-aaral talaga kayo ha. Congratulations everyone. Pasado na kayo this December. Okay. Which of the following describes a placement assessment? Sino dyan ang nagbe-placement assessment? Diba placement assessment? Sinabi ko na sa
Madaling araw.
Is it a teacher administered a test to the incoming grade 4 pupils to determine their readiness? Or a teacher gave a 10-item test to determine the specific lessons with the students fail to understand? Or a teacher gave a short quiz after discussing thoroughly the lesson to determine the effect of the instruction? Or baka naman mag-letter D dyan. None of this.
Di, ibig sabihin, kagabi mo pa yung
Wala
nalaglag.
daw sa kanila ang gumawa.
Nakita mo? Nakita mo guys, saan?
Hagdan daw eh.
Saan daw? Gumawa muna ako ng sketch kung saan ako yung school.
Okay. Sino yung nalaglag? May narinig ako na ingay. Sige, ano sagot natin? And everyone says letter A. Bakit letter A? Bakit letter A? Kasi yan ang sagot. At ang ginawa ni teacher ay nag-administer siya ng test para sa in-core pupils. Para malaman natin kung ready na ba sila. And that is placement assessment. Ano ang ginawa ng teacher B? Ano ang ginawa ni teacher B? Sige daw. Ano kaya ang ginawa ni teacher B? Ano? Paki-comment daw. A teacher gave a 10-item test to determine the specific lessons with the students failed to understand. Yung teacher sa letter B na option. Formative assessment po. Nagtanong si Ma'am Mary Joy. Dapat hindi ka na nagtanong Ma'am Mary Joy kasi tama ang sagot mo. When we say administering quiz, kasi 10 items lang naman, konti lang yun, no? So that is a formative assessment and that is true. What about letter C? Ano ang ginawa ni teacher sa letter C? Sa letter C naman, anong ginawa niya sa letter C? A teacher gave a short quiz after discussing thoroughly the lesson to determine the effect of instruction. Ano ang ginawa ni teacher sa C? Sige daw, huwag kayo mahiya. Si Ma'am Charina, formative assessment pa rin po. Bakit pa rin? Bakit formative assessment pa rin? Kasi short quiz lang naman ang binigay, di ba? Hindi naman sinabing long quiz. Pag long na yon, yung mahahabang mga questions, mahahabang mga tanong, mahabang test, summative yun. So hindi na siya formative. Summative yan siya. Again, next. Next number, the teacher is judging the worth of the project of the students in their criteria. What process describes the action of the teacher? Sige daw. Apat yan? Wait. Sige. Ano ang sagot natin? Letter C, letter C, letter C. Everybody says letter C. Are you sure? Are you sure? Bakit letter C? Bakit kayo ng letter C? O, di na lang. Nag-D si Sir Joali. Okay, bakit daw letter C? Okay. Sabihin ko muna yung ano, yung mga kung ano yung ano. Sige. Take note nyo ha kung ano yung ano. When we say testing, it involves administering a specific task or exercise. Ibig sabihin, pag mag-testing ka, malamang magte-test ka, magbibigay ka ng exam. Ite-test mo yung skill niya, kung ite-test mo yung knowledge niya, kung may natutunan ba siya, ganon. When we say measuring, it is the process of assigning a numerical or quantitative value. Pag measuring na, malamang may mga numbers na yun na involved pag measuring. When we say evaluating, it involves making judgments or assessments about the value or worth or quality or effectiveness of something based on a criteria or standard. O, alam na, masaya na yung iba dyan. And we have assessing. When we say assessing, it is a broader term that encompasses the process of and using information to make judgment or decisions about someone or something. Ganito, when we say assessing, ito na yung ginagawa mo pagkatapos mo mag-evaluate. Tama ba? Do you agree? Agree kayo? So the correct answer is letter C. Judging is evaluating. Tama po, Ma'am Mary Joy. When we judge, we rate, we evaluate. Okay? Ang assessing is parang ano na siya, parang all in all na siya, parang ganun. Okay? Next number. Ito na naman. The teacher is counting the number of items correctly answered by the student their summative test. Ano ang ginawa ni teacher? Binigay ko na ang meaning sa lahat. Ano ang ginawa ni teacher? Ang bilis ni Ma'am Mary Joy. Parang ano? Parang human typewriter. Ang bilis niya makatype. B, measuring. Kasi nga, may numbers. Nag-count na siya ng number of, ano ba nangyari dyan? Sorry. Napindot ko siya. Okay, erase ko lang konti. Sige, okay, go. So that is measuring. Bilis niyo matuto ha. Okay, next number. Which of the following test items can effectively measure higher order of cognitive learning objectives? Is it the completion test, extended essay, achievement test, or objective test? Saan dyan ang nagme-measure ng higher order cognitive learning objectives? O, nag-letter B sila. Majority nag-letter B. Ano bang meron sa letter B? Extended essay test. Bakit extended? Ano ba yung extended? Okay. Extended essay test is a type of test that requires students to generate, organize, and integrate ideas in a structured response. Ibig sabihin, synthesizing their knowledge. Gumagawa sila ng knowledge. They are creating their own knowledge. They are analyzing and they are synthesizing sa mga knowledge na nakukuha nila based on their understanding kung ano yung tinuro ni teacher. And that is the correct answer. Extended essay test. Yung completion, hindi masyado kasi more on memorization lang yan siya. Nasa lots lang yan siya. Nasa lots. Okay. Completion is basic recall. Basic recall lang siya. So, hindi siya gumagamit ng completion, ng higher order cognitive learning. Sige, next item, we have, eto na siya. Here is a completion test item. The blank is obtained by dividing the blank by the blank. The role in completion test item construction violated is, ano daw ang violate ni teacher? Is it avoid infinite statements, Avoid grammatical clues to the answer. The required response should be a single word or a group or a brief phrase, or avoid over-mutilated statements. Para nakita ko yung mga answers nyo. C, B, D. Scatter ha, nag-scatter. Maganda yung deviation natin kasi scatter. Scattering ang mga answers nyo. So, wala bang mag-A? Walang pipili ng A, kawawa naman si A. Okay, then let's proceed. Pag gumawa ka ng completion test item, hindi pwedeng super dami ng blank. The blank is blank in a blank. Di ba? Anong masasagot ng student kung puro blank yung mababasa niya? So, you have to avoid over-mutilated statements. Hindi dapat sobrang dami ng underline sa completion test mo. Dapat isa lang. Isa, that is a very good completion test item. Isa lang. Hindi pwede yung sobrang dami. Lahat na lang ng words ginawa mong blank. Okay? That is over-mutilated. Sobrang parang, pag sinabi kasi nating over-mutilated, parang ang daming putol. Ang daming putol-putol. Dapat hindi ganon. Kasi walang maintindihan ng bata nun. Next, a college administrator wanted an entrance examination that can identify future outcome or differences, such as showing who will graduate from college or who will drop out. Such a test is one that has, ano kaya ito? Concurrent, construct, norm-related, or predictive validity. Ay, parang masaya sila. Parang masaya si Ma'am Mary Joy kasi nakatype siya ng predictive. Bakit predictive? Ano ang meron sa question? Bakit predictive yung pinili nyo? May nabasa ba kayo dyan? May nabasa kayong something sa problem? Bakit predictive? Sige daw. Ano ang meron sa problem? Bakit predictive yung pinili nyo? Pwede naman concurrent. Pwede naman construct. Pwede naman ding non-related. Bakit predictive? Kasi may future po, and that is very true. Di ba sabi natin, pag i-predict natin, malamang i-predict natin ang future, kung anong posibleng mangyari sa hinaharap. And that is the correct answer. Super easy lang ng let, basta mag-aral ka. That is very true. Okay, that is predictive validity. And, suggestion ko lang, no, you study with a heart. Parang si, Pia words back, beauty with a heart. You study with a heart. Hindi puro mind lang. Hindi pwede utak lang gamitin. Mag-aral kayo dahil gusto niyo. Hindi pwedeng mag-aral kayo dahil kailangan. Hindi, huwag ganon. Mag-aral kayo kasi gusto niyo mag-aral. Mag-aral kayo kasi gusto niyo pumasa. Okay, LPT na kayo this December. Which, for it to be effective, saan dyan? Is it public display of evaluation, consensus of evaluation results from teacher and students, external monitor, or scoring rubric? Saan dyan? A, B, C, or D? Ano ang kailangan sa self-assessment para maging effective siya? Kailangan ba na i-display mo yung result ng self-evaluation mo? Kailangan ba ng consensus sa students at saka ni teacher? Kailangan ba ng external monitor? Or scoring rubric ang kailangan? Ba't lahat kayo nag-D? Anong meron sa D? Scoring rubric. Kailangan ba ng rubric kung gusto mo ng self-assessment? Nag-iba ng Londa, si Ma'am Karen, nag-C siya. Kailangan daw ng external monitor kung gusto mo mag-self-assessment. Okay, naguluhan. May naguluhan? Okay, ganito. When we say self-assessment, may kinalaman ba ang ibang tao? Yes or no? Comment. Sabi natin self-assessment, may kinalaman ba ang iba? Maganda sana kung unmute niyo yung mic niyo tapos yes or no lang. O sabi ni Ma'am Aileen, no daw. No, syempre, self nga, di ba? Pag self, walang kinalaman ng iba doon. And when we say public, hindi na self yun. When we say from teachers and students. Diba? Others na din yun, wala nang kinalaman sa'yo yun. And when we say external, malamang sa labas, wala nang kinalaman sa'yo yun. So, ang pinaka-answer ay scoring rubric. So, kailangan mo ng scoring rubric para maging effective ang self-assessment mo. Kasi, di ba, we need to be objective. Kailangan ng rubric, kailangan ng criteria para alam natin kung paano natin i-grade ang mga sarili natin. Kahit mag-self-assessment tayo, kailangan pa rin ng rubric. So, that is letter D. Next item. A test conducted by teacher. Diagnostic or summative. Gusto daw ni Teacher Rona i-test kung how much ang na-learn ng mga learner. Sige, what's your answer? Is it placement, formative, diagnostic, or summative? Hanggang saan aabot ang knowledge ng mga bata? Okay, Ma'am Charina says D. Ang bilis ni Ma'am Charina. Ma'am Marivic also says D. Paano yung iba? Sir Alberto Nacua Jr. says D. Ma'am Karen says D. Oh, majority says D. Wala ba iba sagot? Wala? Okay, because that is the correct answer. Alam niyo yung placement, alam niyo yung formative, alam niyo yung diagnostic. Hindi naman yung hinahanap dyan natin, di ba? Kasi tinatest natin kung ano ang mga nalaman ng mga bata. How much the students are learning. So that is summative assessment. Okay? Next number. For easier correction of his test, Teacher Edward prepared the true or false item in alternating 1, 3, 5, so be alternate para easy daw mag-test. So what is wrong with the test in terms of usability? Ano ang problem sa kanyang ginawang test item? Uy, majority nag-C. Uy, nag-aral kayo. Nag-aral kayo. Very good. Kasi ang sagot ay daanan niyo na ba ito dati? Itong question na ito. Sana hindi nyo nadaanan. Kasi kung hindi nyo nadaanan, tapos nakatama kayo, ibig sabihin, effective ang strategy niyo sa that is identifiable pattern of answers. And that is to be avoided when making a true or false alternate response na test item. Hindi pwede na may pattern. Kasi kailan daw nagiging administrative ang gamit ng test? Is it for grouping learners for instruction? Is it assisting learners to set educational and vocational goals? Or in assigning marks? Or developing adequate basis for students' promotion and retention? Sige, ito medyo complicated itong konti. Pero easy lang yan. Kayo pa, matatalino kayo. Mga babies ni Sir Kevin. Sige, sige, sige. Type niyo daw yung mga answers niyo. Saan dyan ang administrative use ng test? Bakit kailangan natin magbigay ng test? In the administrative use. Sige. Parang nag-iisip ko sila. A, B, C, or D? Wala pa ako nakikita ang answer ng pumapasok. Sige, sige, sige. Baka naman, mahirap at kayo mag-type. You can, unmute your mic. Tapos, say your answer. Okay lang yun. Sige. Okay. Wala pa? Nahirapan sila mag-ratio. Oy, nag-letter D si Ma'am B, si Ma'am Bea, pero may parang tuwang-tuwa siya sa sagot niya, hindi siya sure. Okay, sige. Si Sir Joali says D. Okay? Ma'am Michelle says D. Ma'am Charina says D. Ma'am Marivic says D. Tsaka tatapon ng mga girls natin ngayon, ha? Ma'am Lorraine says D. Si Sir Joali lang yata yung nakita pong boy na nagsagot sa item na to. For now, kasi wala pang pumapasok na iba. And, sige, hirit na tayo. Oh, okay. Si Sir Alberto says B, nag-iba ng landas. Nagbagong buhay si Sir Alberto. Sige, ratio natin. When we say the administrative use of test, ito yung ito yung reason why teachers administer test. Kasi para malaman nila kung sino ang estudyante yung ipopromote nila at saka sino yung i-retain. Kasi pag sinabi nating administrative use, may power si teacher kung sino ang ipopromote, sino ang i-retain. May power siya. Kung sino yung pipiliin niyang i-promote at saka sino ang hindi ipopromote kasi mamimiss daw niya pag na-promote. Okay, now let's proceed with the next item. How is the final grade per subject for grades 11 and 12 obtained? Is it get the average of the grades for 2 quarters? Get the average of the grades of all subjects for the semester? Get the average of the grades for the 4 quarters? Or get the average of the grades for all subjects for 2 semesters? Okay, nag-B si Sir John Paul. Nag-B si Sir John Paul. Okay. Nag-D si Ma'am Marivic. Nag-D. Okay, nag-D. Ay, nag-A si Ma'am Charina. Iba ang sagot ni Ma'am Charina. Okay, sabihin ko lang ha. This question is based on a DepEd order. O, may DO ulit. So, mayroon tayong source niyan kung ano talaga ang tamang sagot. And majority says D. Get the average of the grades of all subjects for 2 semesters daw. Dalawa pa lang. Dalawa yung nag-iba ng answer pero yung isa, letter B. Dalawa na ang nagsagot ng letter A. Sige, explain natin. Question. Si Ma'am Mary Joy, nag-D siya. Question. Ano ba ang paraan ng klase ng mga bata sa grade 11 or 12? Sino may kakilala na grade 11 or 12 na ngayon? Sinong may kakilalang grade 11 or 12 na ngayon? Yun na sa senior high. Yung senior high kasi, ibang-iba yan siya sa junior high. Yung junior high, ang isang taon nila ng pag-aaral is divided into 4 quarters. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, tsaka fourth quarter. Iba sa senior high. Bakit? By semester kasi sila, hindi sila by quarter. And ang isang semester ay 2 quarters. Okay, si Ma'am Lorraine, may kikalala siya senior high, second sem. Diba? Ang senior high is second sem. Bakit second sem? 2 sem. Yes, that's true. Senior high, 2 sem. Ang senior high is divided into 2 semesters. 2 semester yun. Yes, tama po, Ma'am Lorraine. Ang isang semester ay first quarter at saka second quarter. Yung second semester ay third quarter at saka fourth quarter. Ibig sabihin, by semester ang grado nila. Hindi siya yearly. Hindi yearly ang sa senior high. By semester. At ilang quarters ang isang semester? That is 2. Ibig sabihin, para makuha ang final grade per subject sa grade 11 and 12, kailangan mong kuhanin